If a person impedes an investigation or they feel that there's imminent threat to the officer, he has the right and left legal limit to make sure that he neutralizes a threat. And there was escalation of force in that situation. There was a verbal warning after he kicked the vehicle, and I have my camera, I can show it to you. There was a verbal warning where he kicked the ICE agent's vehicle. Okay. He was verbally told to get back on the sidewalk. Okay. And then when was he wrong? I'm not saying that he wasn't wrong for pushing that lady. That was completely wrong. And I would have handled that different as a retired Marine, especially with a lady. But still, that guy impeded that federal officer for doing his job. Okay. Period, point blank. So you can get all of that. That's it.
You're on time. All right, Kelly, I'll give you another minute. And then I want to get to Crash Out. Yeah.
So if he had not been over speaking me, I stated that a few of them were ICE agents and a few of them were Border Patrol agents. They're all under the jurisdiction of DHS with zero jurisdiction over United States citizens, I will reiterate. And again, you just made another false equivalency because the video of him kicking an ICE vehicle was 11 days prior to the incident. So he posed no imminent threat whatsoever. They didn't even report him to local authorities when that incident happened. They were two completely different incidents. So if you want to try to come from my intellectual capacity, homie, I will run circles around you every day and night. Name the time and day. I got you. Don't ever insult me, you misogynistic fuck. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet now.
All right, hold on, y'all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Hold on. All right, let's let that be the end of the personal insults, right, on both sides. Let me go down to Let me go up to Crash Out, and Michelle, I might need you to mod again. I don't know what's going on with this fire alarm. Okay, but let's stop with the personal insults. Go ahead, Crash Out. Go ahead. Welcome to the panel.
How's it going? So number one, jurisdiction is parallel, not perpendicular, meaning that just because you have jurisdiction that may supersede a certain other jurisdiction doesn't mean that you can impede on another jurisdiction. Perfect example we saw with Derek Chauvin, where again, he had state charges and he also had federal charges, two separate individual investigations with two separate different results. And you cannot impede from state to federal or federal to state. That's why we see states literally suing the federal government and actually winning when that does happen. So to act like the federal, no matter what they were doing, could impede in the rights of American citizens that are outside of their jurisdiction is just false. Number two, we know we have things like unlawful detainment. We also know we have things like going against police or officer policy, as was pointed out, about walking in front of vehicles. Not supposed to do that. Not supposed to pew inside of vehicles, especially when there's someone in the driver's seat. Even if the car is considered off, it is considered a car in motion per policy. So you can't just do these things and think that there's no repercussions for them or that it gives the justification for unaliving someone because you feel like your life is in danger. You have to prove that in the court of law that the last resort, which should be unaliving, is justified because your life was in danger, not because you thought it could be in danger.
Okay. Thank you, Crash Out. Appreciate that. All right. We're going to do another quick poll. Actually, first off, we're only at 116,000 likes. Let's get the likes up, please. Okay. Again, if you're for ICE maintaining its current presence in Minnesota, put a 1. If you are not, and you're for a complete drawdown, put a 2. We want to see where the chat is. It seems like we got more so a balanced chat today. I use that word lightly, but that's what I think we've got. Let me go to Swan. I think Swan, did you want to jump in or Nichelle? Who wants to go?
I'm on jumping in. I think at this point, like, we've exhausted everything that we can. Once again, with someone who just doesn't necessarily understand what took place. I think that. Sorry, excuse me. I think that just when it comes to Minnesota, I think all of them need to be pulled out. Like 700, that's wonderful, but all of them need to be pulled out of Minnesota. I don't think that people are aware enough of how traumatizing this has all been for people. People who are witnessing what's happening, people who are afraid to go outside. I know we've heard countless stories of people who have their paperwork and they hear these horror stories and they're like, yeah, no, I'm worried about sending my children to school, or my children going to get picked up while I'm at work or while they're at school or whatever the case is. I just think that like, it's not unreasonable for people to respond the way that they've been responding at all in any way, shape, or form. And I'm gonna keep saying this to people, because this administration, the one, right, who has been involved with these e-files, because we haven't even addressed that fact yet, this administration is not to be trusted. They are the oversight for ICE agents. ICE agents are not to be trusted. And I think that people have every right to protect themselves no matter what. If people are going to continue to say that it is the people who are rioting that are starting all of this, then I want you to tell me who, what happened, what day, where was this, what was the name of the agent that was harmed, what was the damage that was done, how did the person who was involved not comply? Because y'all have yet to be able to give us any situation to where somebody who was undocumented or a citizen started with the ICE agent. It's the other way around. It literally is the other way around. So Anthony or anybody else that disagrees, if that is going to be your talking point, then you need to give us the facts, show and prove that people are stepping out of line. Prove it.
All right, let me go to Anthony. I think Anthony wants to address something you said. Yeah, go ahead, Anthony. I'll give you 2 minutes.
So, and then kicking at it a couple times. And the last time he smashes out the back taillight. ICE agents then get out of the vehicle. There is a scuffle, and eventually he is released and he walks away. In that video, though, you can also see what appears to be a gun in his waistband as well. And this incident happened 11 days before that fatal shooting. And some people may look at it and say, it doesn't cast him in the most favorable of light. Well,
okay, so the first thing that I want to say, guys, is that, listen, man, I want to be clear, all right? I want to be clear. I am not saying that these two gentlemen should not be alive, okay? I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. Me, as a U.S. Marine, I know escalation of force. I completely do. Now, what I am saying is that, would I have handled that in a different situation? Yes. Okay. And people saying it's AI, but I don't think that a news station like CBS or CNN would show this stuff. Right. So people are saying, so the young lady, Renee Nicole Good, beyond a reasonable doubt, she floored that vehicle after told, get out of the car. You see the ICE agent go over and pull.
Uh-oh. Did it freeze up for?
He's doing the good work.
Did it freeze up for everybody?
Okay.
Yeah.
We lost you, Anthony.
Can you hear me? Okay. I cannot confirm that vehicle hit that person. So I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that that's the truth. But she did drive off when she was told to resist. And that vehicle, the way that the federal court works is that in the event that there's a scenario to where that officer felt like he was in imminent danger to himself or anyone else, he is in his right and left lateral limit to neutralize the threat. In both scenarios, that's exactly what happened, period. So y'all can say whatever you want to, but the reason why those people are not here today is because of the decisions that they made.
Let me go to Swan. Swan, I think Swan wants a minute, and I think Crash Out wants a minute as well. Go ahead, Swan.
Yeah, so I think like you hurt your own argument when whether it's an AI video or not, that hasn't necessarily been confirmed yet, y'all. So I don't think that anybody should make a statement as to it is AI if they don't know. But what you did was you hurt your own argument because you showed that they were capable of having restraint, right? They were capable of, he kicked the taillight. They could have arrested him. They had their hands on him. They pinned him to the ground, right? When we witnessed what happened when he was unalived, he was helping a woman up and then he was pepper sprayed. His pew-pew was not shown at all. He was then kicked to the ground. He was pinned down. They took his pew-pew and his hands were out in front of him and then he was unalived. I'm not in the military and I know I may be stepping over boundaries when I say this, but for you to be someone that's in the military to not understand that they were able to hold restraint at one point and then the next in another situation to where they were not being harmed and he was not impeding on anything that they were doing at all would make me question your service and how effective you were. He didn't do anything.
Now you sound now what's crazy about this is that you're listening to push your narrative. Don't question my service, okay? I served 20 years in the United States Marine Corps. 45 days after 9/11, I was fighting for, hold on just a second. 19 days after 39 days after 9/11, my ass was in Afghanistan. So please don't tell me what I know and what I do not know. Everything is published and I don't hide my name. Okay. What I'm saying is this, guys, is two things. The people shouldn't have been there. And then what's crazy about this is that African American people are fighting for scenarios like this when they've been unaliving our asses for doing less. It's crazy. Guys, these guys were impeding a federal investigation. Both of them. Both of them were paid to follow ICE around. And then you guys, I have no sympathy for those people having their asses down there. They shouldn't have been there doing what they were doing.
So real quick, Anthony, when you say they were both paid, do you have a source for that piece of it? I haven't seen that they were both.
100%. No, I don't. I don't have any source. I only have one source with the lady that she was a part of organization where she was actually paid, the organization that she was volunteering for. I do have a resource for that. But for the gentleman, they said that he was a part of an organization. That's what they're saying. So I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that I don't have evidence of that. Of him being involved in that, but Renee Nicole Good, I do.
Okay. All right. Let me go to Crash Out then Nichelle. Go ahead, Crash. I'll give you 1 minute to respond to Anthony. Go ahead.
Okay, so what's crazy is this administration is not even taking your platform. Literally, the message that they put out through DHS hours later is the fact that they said that the local PD was not working with ICE agents in DHS. Meaning that they understood that there are jurisdictional restrictions that they have that they should be coordinating with the local PD and the state police with if they're going to be, I don't know, stopping American citizens and arresting them because that's not in their jurisdiction. So for them to literally complain in black and white on X that the reason why this happened is because there's been no coordination with local PD literally means that they understand that there are jurisdictional restrictions that they don't have. And you can't just stop anybody that you want to because you're doing another investigation that has nothing to do with them as an American citizen. So that's where your entire line falls down.
Thank you, brother. All right, let me go down in the shell, and then I'll let Anthony respond if he wants it. And then we'll go up to Black Cabinet and Peach. And I'm looking for one person that does more so align with Anthony's beliefs. So to fill that last spot, okay, I'm going up to 8 just for a minute. Typically like to keep it at 6, but we'll go up to 8 for a minute. I know a lot of folks want to get in. So if you do a more align with Anthony, and you're in the request, put a 1. Go ahead, Nichelle. I'll restart your timer.
Thank you, fam. So, me personally, I refuse to relitigate this over and over. We know what we saw. Period. End of story. The information that's come out from, DHS, ICE, Harmon, all of them, they're all calling it problematic. Republicans are calling it problematic. Democrats are calling it problematic. Me personally, as an American citizen, I find it irritating, unbelievably irritating that people are still trying to somehow litigate and maybe support the actions of ICE and the administration under the guise of law and order, but they have no smoke for law and order. That blows my mind. I'm literally not going to sit here and waste time. We have done this weeks upon weeks now, arguing over the horrible unalivings of Preddy and Renee Good and Keith Porter. This is crazy. There's no smoke for the actual law and order. That's what blows my mind.
Thank you, Anthony. I'll give you a minute if you want to.
Brother, and phenomenal panel, man. I appreciate you allow me to be up here. I just think that, when, again, I just want to be clear with what I'm saying, guys. I don't condone anybody being unalive. Do I believe that those federal officers should have had more, when you call somebody in there, if you ever been in an imminent danger situation, ultimately those guys are trying to do exactly what they did. So in the event you saw him get in the middle of that situation that is impeding an investigation, you also saw Renee Nicole Good slam on the gas and drive away after she was told to get out of the car. And you saw the officer pull the. Now, do I believe that that's the correct escalation of force? Absolutely not. But I'm telling y'all, mark my words today, those federal officers are going to get off because they're going to ask the question: do you believe that your life was in imminent danger? Yes. Case closed. State is not going to be able to investigate, okay, because it's going to be pulled up to federal. Federal supersedes state. That's the end of story. Now you can believe me if you don't believe.
So
you don't have to believe me.
Let me just address, real quick, Anthony, and I'm going to come back to you, Black Cabinet Peach, and actually let's real quick. Let's do something for Anthony. Actually, let's do Simply, because I think Simply's got to go, Peach, and then Black Cabinet. So we'll go Anthony, Simply, Peach, Black Cabinet. So Anthony, the chat was reacting to when you're saying she slammed on the gas. What I saw is that she reversed, and then she did obviously, hit the accelerator. It didn't seem like she slammed on the gas, but that's one piece that they're reacting to. The second piece is, how do you feel about when the agents approach the vehicle? Do you feel like that they further escalated the situation, or do you feel like they just de-escalated the situation? I'll give you another minute.
I 100 believe that they escalated the situation, but I also believe that she could have. I'm in alignment with you. I'm with you. But why didn't you comply with the federal officer? And then why did the wife say, "Drive, baby, drive"? That is the decision that they made. Okay, with that vehicle going in the direction of the officer. And that's the reason why he unholstered his weapon and fired into the vehicle. Now, we could say what we want or whatever, but I saw the same vehicle you guys did. And the question that they're going to ask if they get prosecuted is, do you believe that your life was in danger? And if he says yes, that's going to be the reason why he gets off. I don't believe that it's right, guys. I'm with you guys. But however, morally is wrong. But legally, he's going to get off. Watch.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Anthony. Let me go to Simply. Simply, you got 2 minutes, fam.
Hey guys. Hey, thank you. I heard. I was coming up here to respond to the other guy that said he served, but I'm deeply disturbed because, I'm seeing people say a lot of things that doesn't make sense to me. So I want to say, with all due respect and respect to military service, especially those that served, after 9/11. But service does not override the Constitution, and it doesn't redefine justified means. I don't comprehend that. And clarity on the oath that we take. The oath, I'm Army, but the oath taken in the Marine Corps is not fear, adrenaline, or any type of authority over other people. It is to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So make it make sense. The oath doesn't disappear when civilians are involved, and it certainly doesn't disappear on U.S. soil. So I need to understand the thought process, because saying that they put themselves in a situation is not a constitutional standard for unaliving somebody. Okay? At all. And if you are too scared to take the position up as an agent, as a soldier, as a police officer, I don't want you in any of those roles. Because when I signed up, I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was putting myself into. And if you can't make clear decisions under pressure and you rely solely on adrenaline, you don't need that position at all. At all. You're dangerous. And, we do not execute people for being in the wrong place or making, for making the government uncomfortable. Combat rules don't apply to civilians in neighborhoods, because I understand, and my sister is a state trooper, that even when we have FBI that comes into our local neighborhoods, guess what? They coordinate with the local authorities. They let them know that they're there, who they're there for. So it doesn't make sense to me. So we're supposed to be defending the Constitution. If someone was deprived of life without due process, without immediate threat.
Go ahead, finish your last sentence, fam.
Okay, and without lawful justification, then yes, their constitutional rights were violated. So to me, you have people that did not have due process because they were judge, jury, and executioner right there on the scene. So the Fifth, the Fourth Amendment was violated.
Thank you, fam.
The Constitution does not say unless agents felt justified. So I just make it make sense, because I think that we're making this very dangerous to live here when we want to pick and choose who the Constitution applies to.
You're on time, fam. Thank you. Thank you, Simply. Let's go to Black Cabinet, then we'll go to Peach. Black Cabinet, 2 minutes again.
I'll be quick. I just want to attack one thought. and that's the thought of they shouldn't have been there. That's crazy. Because when people say that people shouldn't have been there, what they really mean is they shouldn't be over there challenging power. Let's be clear, people. Protest is a language of people denied justice. If enslaved Africans shouldn't have resisted, are we going to tell them they shouldn't be there? If civil rights marches weren't in the streets, are we going to say they shouldn't have been there? Workers organizing for labor laws, are we going to say they shouldn't have been there? Women wanting to demand a voice, are we going to say they shouldn't have been there? If they shouldn't have been there, then that's not a valid excuse. If they shouldn't have been there, then guess what? Then segregation would still be in effect. Labor laws wouldn't have changed, and democracy democracy wouldn't have been worth naming. So therefore, saying, well, they shouldn't have been there. You don't get to say protest is wrong after benefiting from every protest that we ever had in history. How can you as a black person say that they shouldn't have been there when protest has benefited us? The issue isn't that the protesters were there. The issue is that power doesn't like being questioned when anybody comes against them. That's the whole thing. So when you sit there and say they shouldn't have been there, are you serious? As a black man, are you serious? Every single struggle that we've been in the middle of, we shouldn't have been there? You're trying to say Medgar Evers shouldn't have been there, John Lewis shouldn't have been there when he got his head cracked open? Are you saying Jimmy Lee Jackson shouldn't have been there, Fred Hampton shouldn't have been there? Are you serious? Listen to yourself when you say that. I tell you, when you replace your words with the words of the oppressor, it's a bad thing, baby. It's a bad thing. You can sit there and say, I agree with you, but the oppressor speaking through you loud and you shadow boxing for him.
All right, thank you, Black Cabinet. Anthony, he did mention if you want to start, I'll give you 2 minutes if you want it.
Oh, it's always an echo chamber. I got one question for the young lady that spoke and the man. Tell me who created Black History Month without any interruptions. Who created Black History Month?
Carter G. Woodson.
Yeah.
He actually created.
Thank you.
He created Negro History. Hold on. He created Negro History Week, and Black History Month was actually expanded because of fraternities and sororities.
Hold on. I got you. I got my 2 minutes.
You want the history?
You can speak when I'm done. You can speak when I'm done. You can speak when I'm done. I have a timer.
What's the history?
You can speak when I'm done. You can speak when I'm done.
Real quick.
You can speak when I'm done.
To be fair, it is Anthony's time. Go ahead, Anthony. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So all of this is not the same, guys. These people are not. The federal officers were there to do an investigation. They have a right to legally protest. I just showed you a vehicle with him kicking an ICE officer's vehicle. That's not a peaceful protest. Okay. A peaceful protest is not honking and blocking the road either. Okay. Again, when you guys are questioning all of this stuff, okay, you cannot compare this to the civil rights movement. It's not the same, guys. It's not the same. It's not. You're talking about people who are going, a federal officer that is sworn in by law to go and do investigations and remove illegal immigrants. What are you there for? What are you? All right, man. I can already see this is an echo chamber, and everybody's going to attack. Everybody's going to attack. And lady, don't you ever question my ability to be able to do what I was supposed to do with 20 years of fucking combat service. Ever. Don't you question? Don't you sit up here and question when you probably haven't even been in combat.
You've been misogynistic your entire time up here.
All right. Let me go to Pete.
Thank you, Schmitty. I'm out.
Yeah, thank you, Black Cabinet.
Like you said, I can't believe he was trying to actually question me on Black history. I'll walk him down.
All right. Thank you, Black Cabinet. Let me go to Peach's time. Go ahead, Peach. 2 minutes.
Hey friends, thanks for letting me up, Smitty. Hey panel, hope everybody's doing well. I had just come up to do a little bit of fact checking is the only thing that I wanted to do. So if anybody is interested, so from the AP News, they are reporting that the video was deemed authentic, that Alex Preddy's family said that that was authentic and that he had actually told them that he had been hurt during the scuffle, and that was 11 days before. The other fact that a lot of people are missing out on is that Alex Preddy and Renee Good were both legal observers, and from the National Lawyers Guild and the American Bar Association and the ACLU, legal observers are not paid. They are volunteers. That is how that's just a service that they do. So they're not at all protesting. Both of them were were volunteers. And then finally, I wanted to say that in clarifying some other information. So Customs and Border Patrol is not the same as ICE. Those are two different departments, but they are both beneath the umbrella of the Department of Homeland Security. So they're very closely related. And when we're talking about who did what, we can just use the DHS and say that DHS agents were responsible for the end of Alex Preddy's and Renee Good's lives. And finally, the one fact that I also wanted to say that is very important to me is that as all of us saw in those videos, unfortunately, Renee Good was given several conflicting orders. She was told to leave. She was told to get the F out of here. She was told to stay. She was told to get out of the car. She was threatened. So when we're expecting a person to just comply, a person cannot comply with multiple conflicting orders. It just doesn't work like that. So I just wanted to inject some fact checking here.
Yeah, no, Peach, love having you here. Thank you, fam. All right, let me go real quick, y'all. Okay, what I need to do. Okay, I need y'all. I'm gonna give Shaky 5 minutes. Okay, I need y'all to listen to what Shaky's gonna say. It's a very important piece that I need y'all all to listen to. Tap the screen and support what Shaky's got going on. So I want to give her 5 minutes. Go ahead, fam. Please talk about whatever you like. So please support her message, y'all. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Smithy. Hi, everyone. Very quickly, without taking up too much of your time, I'm trying to spread the word on a food drive that we have coming up, a mobile food drive to serve unhoused and low-income communities in downtown Baltimore. And we have less than 2 weeks to finish gathering the resources that we need. So I'm going wherever I can to let people know and ask for donations, basically. So what I need everyone to do, anyone who cares to help, I really would appreciate it if you could go into the wish list that is linked in my link tree. It is the second tab. If you go in there, you find resources that we are supposed to be distributing and things that can help us actually do the distribution. If you guys could please go in there and make a purchase, it comes directly to us and then we're able to go distribute those items. And then for anybody who would much rather make a monetary donation, there's also a fundraiser that is linked in the third link. But I really do encourage that you look at the second link. We have items as low as like $2 in there. So even if you're not able to make a big donation, that is perfectly fine. If you can just buy a can of food or something for a baby or something, it would really help. Please. We still have frozen ice outside, and there are people who are living outside. There are people who cannot keep their heat on. The least that we can do is show up for people, especially during this horrible weather condition, right? So I really don't want to take up much of you guys' time. Sorry about that.
Thank you, fam.
But thank you so much for giving me this opportunity and for listening to me.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think as content creators, we have we must be able to not just debate, right? Talk about debates and do the educational content, but we gotta support the content creators that really are doing the hardest work, which is what you're doing. So no, as soon as you let me know that this is what you were doing, I wanted to get you up as soon as I could. So if anybody, go ahead.
I really want to thank you for that, actually, Smithy, because your response time was immaculate. And I think the last time that I was on your panel actually was when we were doing the fundraiser for Congo and Sudan last year. I think actually in 2024. So I just wanted to thank you for always making your platform so accessible and a place where we can actually come and reach out to the community to say, hey, this is going on. We really need help. And that your community does always show up. So thank you for that.
Absolutely, fam. No, thank you. I appreciate you. And I'm gonna let you go. But yeah, always. Anytime you need me, anytime you're doing something, let me know. Okay?
I will. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone.
Absolutely. Take care, fam. All right, please continue to support Shaky in any way that you can. She's incredible. Again, doing the real hard work out here. All right. I'm gonna get one more person up. And we'll go for it probably for about another 30 minutes. But I'm just going to say something real quick. Please respect the rules of the panel, okay, on both sides. No personal insults, no racism, misogyny, misogynoir, all of the isms. Okay, let's keep it clean, right? Let's keep it respectful, but also obviously spirited and passionate. Okay. Let's see here. Who's gone the longest? I think Nichelle's probably gone the longest. And then I want to get Covey's opening. So let's continue the debate. Go ahead, Nichelle. Nichelle,
Yeah,
you're on mute if
sure.
you're speaking.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Again. And it's especially after going after what the very important thing that Shiki was just talking about. Again, what Black Cabinet said was just so on point, right? I refuse to be part of conversations where we are once again relitigating and going on, and again, not having smoke for the administration who has caused all of this harm, right? I bring it up over and over again, and then we skip right back to, I'm not right. Don't question my service. Don't do all these things. The fact of the matter is, no, I'm not going to take your guarantee that they're going to get off, because we don't know. What we do know is that Keith Porter is unalived. We know that Renee Good is unalived, and we know that Alex Preddy is unalived. And to his point, we have a long history of protesting, and it may not look perfect, and it may not look, a certain kind of a way, but the fact of the matter is they're unalived. The fact of the matter is that little Liam was snatched and taken. And no, I don't want to relitigate and whether or not you think his father or somebody thinks his father left or did all these other things. Have we, I really truly feel like, Smitty, we've lost the plot here. I really think we've lost the plot. Is it so bad to go, hold on a second, whatever the conditions were, it is horrible that in broad daylight, not only did Alex Preddy lose his life, but just think of all the people who were traumatized, all of us that are traumatized watching that. This is not normal. I've literally tried to stay calm and professional and all this other stuff, but this is not normal. It is simply not normal that people are being unalived by, whether you want to put it under DHS, ICE, Border Patrol, whatever. It's not normal. We're literally arguing over the technicalities of whether or not, Alex Preddy stepped this way or Renee Good turned this way or did whatever. That is insane. I feel like we've literally lost the plot. We've lost empathy here. Renee's Good. She had children. Alex Preddy had family. We're over here going, no, he did it this way. No. And all of a sudden, now everybody is a damn armchair, expert. Y'all are killing me with this. At not one point do y'all feel weird? Somehow trying to justify this? You're literally turning yourself inside out trying to justify this. All the while there's a felon in the office. I'm sorry, Smitty. Everybody else has gone over. I just want to emphasize we're missing the plot on empathy here. And common sense, for the love of God.
All right. Thank you, Nichelle. All right, let me go. Let's just go straight to the panel. Make it easy. Go ahead, Swan. Swan's next 2 minutes.
No, I agree 100% with what Nichelle was saying. And this is what I was saying in the beginning of the live, in the last live, that before you had restarted, is that we're also talking about a group of people who is backed by monsters. I don't think that people realize that the ones who are supposed to hold others accountable when they do wrong have been doing wrong for years. And when I say they've been doing wrong, I mean they've been doing wrong. Eugenics, cannibalism, rituals, dehumanization, trafficking, drugs, putting children in horrible situations, coercing people. These are the people, right, that are overseeing ICE. Something has got to be wrong with you if you actually think that these people are responsible enough. People are protesting because their rights, I'm sorry for not giving a trigger warning, I apologize to the audience, but people are protesting, right, because they have a right to. They have a right to be kept safe. They have a right to be happy. They have a right to be alive. Period. Anybody aligning themselves with all of this madness, you don't love yourself. You don't value yourself. And you're not educated. I don't care what anybody says. Like, this is Michelle is right. This is insanity. This is insanity. The whole entire well is poisoned. And I'm going to ask the same question that I asked before. If this wasn't your government, right, and anything that falls right underneath the government, above the people, and it was your child's school administration, would you keep your child there? Ask yourselves, would you keep your child there?
Thank you, Swan. Let me just skip the line a little bit because Covey's new. Let me get Covey 2 minutes, and then we'll go to Carolina for 2 minutes.
Hi, Smitty.
Hey, fam.
I was listening to the conversation from the chat, and I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't have requested. I was just gonna listen today. But something prompted me to request, and that is the idea that Trump is reinforcing law and order, and that is something that keeps getting mentioned by everybody who is talking about ICE and justifying what's happening in Minnesota. And I think what really, really bothers me about that is, why should law and order be reinforced only for people who are poor, but the rich don't get that enforced for them? This is a genuine question that I have, right? Because when I'm reading how these people, how Swan, I fully agree with Swan. Where is the law and order? By the way, trigger warning, right? SA. But where is the law and order in raping children and getting away with it? It's a genuine question that I have. Like, how do you take the person who is saying they're gonna reinforce the law serious when they have raped children? How are you gonna take them serious when they have caused children to disappear? Like, how are you gonna take, like, if you read any of the files, it literally states how, like, Trump was even accused of deleting footage. Not only accused, he was actually charged with it. Deleting footage. How is a person who not only rapes children, allegedly, unalive children, allegedly, deletes footage, allegedly, is friends with a bunch of P3DOs, allegedly, how is a person like that claiming to reinforce the law? I'm so confused. What law? Where is the law?
Your time, fam. Thank you, Covey. We're going to go to, thank you, Sarah Latte. I think we only got 5 money guns to the goal. So if we can hit the goal by the time we end the live, that would be incredible. That'd be 2 times in the last week, which I don't think that's ever happened in at least 6 months. So you guys have been incredible. Let me go to Carolina, then we'll go to Anthony. I do kind of want to get Anthony worked in because I know he has a bit of a dissenting opinion. Carolina, 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Yeah, and if he meets his goal, he's going to drop down and get his eagle on, y'all. But anyway, so first I want to apologize to you, Smitty, for getting heated at Anthony up here earlier. But this idea that men are allowed to question the intelligence of extremely educated women, specifically extremely educated women of color, and then not expect any pushback is just kind of crazy to me. I'm gonna continue to bring it back to this point. And I know that some people get deeply offended when I say this, and I also don't care. People who are agents of white supremacy are never going to understand that they're not getting picked. And that's like the biggest issue we have. I think several of us on the panel have made this point over the past few weeks. People who crave a proximity to whiteness will always be an enemy to their own communities. They will always choose the side of the oppressor over the oppressed because they think at the end of the day, they're going to get a pat on the back, and it's just not going to happen. So when we have people who come from our Black and brown communities espousing white supremacist rhetoric and nationalism and also right-wing talking points, I don't think there's any amount of evidence that is going to be able to be provided that will get them to change their mind. I mean, we asked for evidence. He literally stated he didn't have it because it doesn't exist. It's not because he can't find it. It's because it doesn't exist. And so I think it's important that we continue to have these conversations, but just the kind of like tone policing and faux outrage over educated women dunking on you when you have nothing to stand on. It's just getting a little old. It's giving misogyny. It's giving, I desperately want to be a white man. And I personally will never understand that. I don't want to align with my oppressors. I actually want to deport my oppressors. So the fact that you view other marginalized people as competition or a problem for you, but not the people who continue to have boots on our necks, just wild behavior, bro.
All right, let me go to Anthony. Go ahead, Anthony. You got 2 minutes.
Of course, somebody would say that. But first and foremost, I'm a life member of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity, a historically black fraternity. And then also, I didn't say nothing about Trump at all, okay? I give $280,000 away in scholarship money to the black community. And I also pay 6 African-American people in C-suite positions in my company, okay? Over $1 million. So when you say white proximity, I'm the owner. Look me up. So, and usually this is what people say when they lack the ability to debate. They always want to go and try to attack someone. I own all of my own companies. Okay, I own all of my own companies, and also, are you giving black scholarships away? Did you give $100,000 to HBCUs last year? Okay, so the reason why I feel like people always want to throw misogyny in there, I'm specifically talking about ICE. You don't know who I voted for. I didn't speak anything about Trump. I said ICE, federal agents. I disagree. Let me be clear. I disagree with those people. They should be alive, 110%. Okay. However, I don't believe that you have the authority to be able to impede on investigations and things of that nature. I would have done things much different if I was in that position, because I have the ability to do what I'm supposed to do. But don't say misogyny, because I question a man and a woman, but yet the man didn't say anything about misogyny. But when people question you, and I'm educated too. I have 2 master's degrees. I employed 390 people. So let's stop doing that, because that's not what and if you feel that way, my sincerest apologies. I'm not questioning your education. I just feel like that those people, I just wish that we had the same energy for the people. Where are all the Hispanic people that are aligning when our black people was getting killed, unalived? Where are all of those people at? But yet, when we have situations like this, we want a booty clap for people that should not have been there, causing a threat.
Let me Carolina, if you want a minute, I'll give it to you. Then I'm going to go to Crash Out.
Yeah, I just want to say you specifically attacked my intelligence. Specifically, you didn't say anything to the men about their intelligence. You attacked my intelligence, and then you wanted to try to come for Swan when she questioned your ability to do your military duties correctly. But it was okay to question my intelligence. Also, I don't like the word Hispanic. Hispanics are white Latinos. We're not talking about those, and that's just kind of a crazy question. Any given city in America has coalitions of black and brown people working on these initiatives. You're not always going to find solidarity in every community, and it's not always going to be unilateral across the board in either community. But I'm not focused on people who do white supremacy work. I'm focused on the people who are actually dedicated to this. And yeah, I actually do get black and brown people into scholarship programs, and I'm a mentor. So I really don't know where we were going with that, but I never once mentioned Trump. So let's once again listen to actually receive a message and not listen to respond.
All right, Anthony, I'll give you 1 more minute. Do you want to clarify your position on ICE overall? Anthony, if you want to clarify,
yes.
maybe.
Yeah, I'll do that. And then, regardless of what I say, man, people are always going to attract character and everything else, man. I don't have anything to explain to anybody. I mean, I'm a public figure. You can look me up. Everything I say is true. Okay. And if you look up what I've done for the black community, it is what it is. But just because my position on ICE is that there's a lack of training. They should be partnering with the local law enforcement agency so they know the landscape of the land, and they need escalation of force. That's what I believe that they need. And do I believe that they should be there doing what they're supposed to do? 100%. But also, I just think that these 2 situations could have been prevented. But I also believe that I just have a fundament. I'm telling y'all, man. Okay, these guys are not. They're going to walk. They're not going to let it be prosecuted at state. They're going to try to prosecute, and they're going to bring it up to federal, and then federal is going to sweep it under the rug.
Okay. All right. Real quick, you guys, I don't know who and why y'all reported, or somebody reported Swan when literally what was even Swan saying? She was on mute for most of the time. Please don't do that, y'all. It's just, right? We got most of the folks who got on one side. We got Anthony on the other. It's been a pretty much, for the most part, a respectful discussion. Okay? So please, y'all. Okay? The app has been a little sensitive lately too, so maybe it was the app. But please. I think, we're trying our best to be respectful. All right, let me go to Crash Out. 2 minutes. Peach, 2 minutes. Simply 2 minutes.
So yeah, I wanted to point out real quick that giving money to black people does not make you automatically pro-black. We've literally had people who were literal white supremacists give money to black organizations.
Okay, here we go.
So
I already see what you're saying.
I stayed
Hold on,
muted.
let's let Crash Out. Go ahead, Crash Out.
Yeah, hit dog taller.
I'm out, man.
Hit dog taller. And all I had to do was point out the obvious, that he thinks that just throwing his money at black people means that he cares about black people. Blackness has never been based off of how much money was in our pocket, but how much knowledge was in our brains and how much love was in our hearts. That's what blackness has always been based off of, because we've had literally $1 to $1 million to close to $1 billion. And we have one thing in common: we black in this country. So that's just one thing. Number two, it is very dangerous to tell black people that we can't react to violence in the streets with violence while we're being met with violence. That's literally saying that we should be sitting ducks, that we should just take whatever. You're trying to conflate the talk that we have to have with our family members and children about how to deal with a law enforcement situation with literally unalivers in the street doing whatever the hell they want to do to people. That's not the same talk. Because there's a difference between, okay, just stay within these boundary lines of, tone and where your hands are, versus someone literally having you surrounded with 4 or 5 officers with their knee on your neck or on your back while you're face down, giving you 10 or 15 different commands. For you to tell a person that that's okay and you should just deal with whatever the consequences are is literally putting more lives in danger. Because you want people to be submissive to actual violence being done to them by people who don't even have the authority to really ask them a question.
All right. Thank you, Crash Out. Appreciate that. We are 2 money guns away from our live goal. Okay. So we are very close. Black Cabinet, thank you for all of the heavy lifting you were doing. All of the other gifters, I appreciate you as well. Thank y'all so much. Okay, y'all are incredible in this chat. I love y'all. I really appreciate y'all. We're going to Peach. 2 minutes.
Hey, thank you so much, Smitty. I just, I'm a little bit disappointed that we didn't get to talk about the actual topic from Anthony. I think he had a little bit of a meltdown, but that's okay. Emotional dysregulation is real. But I do want to say when we're talking about DHS and what they're doing right now, I think it's really important that we also point out that, does anybody remember like the uproar that happened in California, and that people were framing it as the federal government threatening to come into LA because this is precedent-setting behavior. This is not normal behavior to send in armed guards to patrol a city and do nothing except for harass and terrorize and traumatize citizens. The same thing happened in DC, and we saw the video of them kind of walking around checking people as they were sitting on their porches and hanging out. So they have no business within the cities and states that they're in, which is why we're seeing them be withdrawn. My hope is that we see the entirety of DHS withdrawn from every American city, because the other thing that's happening beneath all of this, and I don't want to run over, so I'm trying to be very quick, but the other thing we're seeing happening is that in every, I promise you guys, if you go search up your state where you live, don't tell me where you live, but where you live, I promise you will find out that they have purchased or are purchasing warehouses or large plots of land because they're planning on building detention centers in every state. This is not tinfoil hat bullshit. Missouri just nixed it. They're coming to Kansas, which is where I live, and they're trying to do it in Leavenworth. It's every single state. And if we don't stop it now, I promise you we're going to end up in one of the worst places imaginable. And so I think that I'm glad they're taking 700 out, and I hope that they take the rest of them out and stop this invasion.
All right, thank you, Peach. We're gonna go to Simply. Simply, you got 2 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you. And thanks again for having me. I just want to remind folks of what this country is supposed to be, not just what it says it is and what it claims to be or stand for. This nation was founded on the idea that dignity, liberty, and pursuit of happiness belongs to human beings, not just to people with power, not just to people who are comfortable, and not just to people that feel untouchable by law enforcement, right, or any type of enforcement. But apparently we have those, right? Especially once you read those Epstein files for entertainment purposes only. I'm gonna keep pushing this. I said it before in your panel. People keep forgetting, and in the words of Tupac, still rings true. The hate you give little infants F's everybody. That's exactly what we're witnessing. When children grow up watching their parents live in fear, when families are afraid to leave their homes, when communities are threatened, they're threatened instead of being treated like human beings. The harm doesn't stay contained, it spreads, and it comes back through trauma, mistrust, to a society that begins to fracture. And we're witnessing the fracture right now as we speak. And this is where we lose the plot. We keep pretending that principle and humanity.
Oh, we lost Simply. That's too bad. She didn't get a chance to finish her statement, but looked like she just dropped. That was not the app. Let me go to Covey 2 minutes and then Swan 2 minutes, and then we are probably going to be finished. Go ahead, Covey. Go ahead, fam.
I feel like Anthony didn't address my question. He just skipped right by. I mean, he's not here, so. But I feel like my question is not being addressed. The people who keep coming up here and like addressing or saying law and order, how can the people who are committing all these heinous crimes reinforce law and order? And I don't understand why more people are not angrier about it, especially the people who are supporting ICE, the people who are defending it, the people who come up here and defend like the politicians or Trump or whatever it is. Why can a person who actively raped children and got away with it, why are they claiming that this guy, allegedly, this guy is reinforcing law and order? I'm so confused. Why is a person who is not leading by example, a whole administration that is not leading by example, claiming to support law and order? Like, and if people are willing to support people who rape children and get away with it, there is no conversation about empathy with people like that. Genuinely. Like, there is absolutely no conversation about empathy with people like that. Because if they don't even have empathy for their own children, why would they have empathy for you? That's a serious thing I'm saying. If these people who are supporting what's happening with ICE, they don't even have empathy for their own children, why the hell would they have empathy for you?
All right. Thank you, Covey. We're going to go to, let's let Simply finish the rest of her statement, and then we'll go to Swan.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And well said, Covey. I believe that was Covey. But yeah, I just wanted to bring it back around to the fact that, again, we can keep pretending that principle and humanity are opposite, but there is just not. You can either force the law or care about people. That's false. You can do your job and still have humanity. You can enforce the law and still apply restraint, discernment, and compassion. And I've had to do that my entire life. So to me, my professionalism demands it. It demands that I treat people with the utmost respect, but also uphold the law. That is not debatable. And it doesn't just apply to some. So, a uniform and a badge or federal authority doesn't grant unlimited power, but yet I keep going through all these lives and people keep granting ICE and Border Control unlimited power. And it's beyond me how we think, how did we get here? Responsibility without humanity becomes cruelty, and that's what we're seeing. I have a friend right now in Minneapolis that's terrified to leave his house. He is terrified. He has deleted his profile. And he's American, but because of what he looks like. Somewhere along the way, we started excusing harm instead of questioning it. We started normalizing fear instead of asking, why do people feel unsafe? And we started defending systems harder than we defend human life. So I second what Nichelle had to say earlier. So, I mean, that's really all I have to say. We're at a place of moral erosion.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Simply. I'm gonna let you down. Thank you for coming up, fam. All right. And then Swan, you get the final word. Thank you guys. Y'all have been incredible. We got to 228,000 likes or so. Really, really incredible. I really appreciate it. We'll continue these debates and discussions for the rest of the week. Maybe not. Well, we'll see tomorrow. Tomorrow might be another early one. We'll see. But we'll definitely have them Thursday. On Friday as well. Go ahead. Go ahead, Swan. You get to finish it out.
Thank you so much, Smitty. I appreciate you. I think what I'm going to say is just I really want people to value themselves, and I want people to know what their worth is, and people should not have to live in fear like this, right? I think that also it's really, really important that people continue to remain in community with people that are on the side of things being right? Which would be safety, happiness, and healthiness. Like that's extremely important. That is crucial. And anything that impedes on that, reject it immediately. I think I always give that analogy, right, of like if this administration was the like school staff at your school, it's a no-brainer, you would remove your children. We're dealing with a group of people who is supposed to hold people accountable for doing things wrong. I'm going to keep saying this, but they are the ones doing the things that are wrong, right? And I think that also I'm going to refer back to the Haitian Revolution. They weren't, the Haitian Revolution in a video that was put out by one of my mutuals, W Cadre, W Super Solid. So he put a video out and he explained the difference, I'll post it on my story later, between civility and like being docile, right? Right now, what we're hearing is people being docile, and that's dangerous, right? The being docile is never going to get us anywhere. When we talk about like civil, right? Civility, that's an agreement in society between the people who are in that society, right? And I think that people need to understand the difference between those two things. And people also must understand that if these files haven't woken you up to the fact that the entire well is poisoned, I'm talking world leaders involved. If they are not waking you up to the fact that this well is poisoned, then you got to dig deeper and value yourself even more. You have to dig deeper and value yourself even more. And I'm just going to stress, like yesterday, how we had a discussion up here, Smitty. I didn't even know that I needed that yesterday. When we had the discussion and we were able to just talk about things that are happening and to just vent, and for people to share ideas, that we definitely have to continue to do. Also, I'm big on mutual aid. If y'all need help, hit me up. Come to my space. We'll definitely help you out. But a community is going to be the only way that we get through this, and knowing our worth and our value is going to be the only way that we get through this as well.
Absolutely. No, that was very well said, Swan. That's an incredible way to close it out. And, there definitely are some folks. I guess one of the things, I'm going to toss this out to the chat as well. And I'm going to keep it in generalities. I think there are some folks, when they look at everything that's going on, right? You know, you have unemployment, it going up. You have the rising cost of food. You have everything going on with ICE and immigration and the economy and all of that. I think there are a lot of folks that need help, but they are kind of afraid to ask, you know, for many different reasons. And I always kind of struggle with that piece of it. So if y'all have any suggestions on ways for people to maybe more anonymously ask for help, and we can come up with something to help those folks, I think that would be great, because there are a lot of very, very, very good people. I mean, very, very good people that that do need help, that have helped so many, but also need help as well. And so I think for some, it's just hard to ask with all of this chaos that's going on in the country, you know. No, not me, y'all, not me. You know, yeah, I mean, I probably would be one of those people because I see everything that's going on, but I'm totally okay. But there are definitely people that, a lot more people than I think we need that do need help out here. So anyway, with that being said, much love. Y'all think about that. And again, the community is very, very important. Okay, Money, no, you're good. Very, very important. We got to stick together, right? I appreciate the folks that, even though maybe politically you disagree, that you're still here and you're still supporting the platform. I appreciate that. Obviously, my folks who I align with on this topic, I appreciate y'all. And please follow these content creators and the folks that are doing the incredible work, like Shaky in the community. Loved how y'all supported her to be able to go out and provide for the people of Baltimore, especially in this cold weather that they've been having back east. Man, you know, that makes me proud that, you know, that she does that, number one. Number two, that she said, hey, historically, this has been a platform where she's gotten a lot of support. That made me proud for y'all, not necessarily for me, but for y'all. That made me proud that's what this platform is known for. So that was incredible. And I hope she gets all of the support that she needs to continue her incredible work. So much love, y'all. Y'all stay safe. Y'all take care. See y'all tomorrow.
Love, Smitty.
All right. Take care, y'all.
Love, Smitty.
All right. Take care, y'all.
I just didn't get a good first impression. So if I got to stick around for the good